Jeff, I'd like to talk to you for a minute about drunk driving, impaired driving kind of offenses, cases where people have consumed alcohol or drugs or prescription medication or something like that, and it's affected their ability to operate a motor vehicle, and then someone's injured as a result. First, how are those kinds of cases the same as other types of motor vehicle accidents?
Well, we still have to prove that the other driver was at fault. We still have to make sure our clients are taken care of physically, financially, and emotionally, that we're getting the right treatment, that we're getting the right kind of care, and that we're collecting evidence, looking for insurance coverages. All of those things that would be in a normal case are still in this case.
Okay, how are these cases different from other types of motor vehicle accidents?
Well, so there's additional coverages we can go after, additional punitive damages, which are designed to punish the offender for driving drunk, and also to send a signal to society that we don't want other people doing this.
To other people in the community, hey, don't drive drunk or this may happen to you and financially.
Right. And a lot of times the punitive damages can be bigger than the regular case. So we've got to go out and try to find extra coverages and try to stack policies on top, and that gets complicated. Drunk driving cases are sort of their own category of cases.
Well, let me ask you this. When I think of drunk driving cases, when I think most people think of drunk driving cases, impaired driving cases, they're thinking of it from a criminal perspective. But we're not talking about it from a criminal's perspective. We're talking about it from a civil perspective, trying to compensate the victim instead of the drunk driver or the impaired driver going to jail or on probation or having to go to court or whatever in terms of a criminal context. However, many of our lawyers, in fact, most of our lawyers have extensive experience in criminal court as well. They've been to criminal court and dealt with DWIs, impaired driving, those kinds of things. And why is that important?
Well, we want to track those criminal cases with our investigative team that has former law enforcement experience. They've been officers that have arrested people for DUIs or impaired driving. So they can talk to the DAs, they can talk to the officers and track these things through court. Also, we may not be the ones prosecuting the criminal cases. That's the district attorney's office that does that, or maybe military court in some cases if the drunk driver is a military person. But we can also provide supervision and help our clients through those processes. I can think of cases where we've been into criminal court to assist our client. We've been into military court to assist our client as those criminal cases are going on. And that helps build damages in our case and make sure we can prove the other person's at fault.
Yeah, I can think of dozens, if not hundreds, of examples of cases where we've contacted either criminal defense attorneys or the district attorney's office and provided additional evidence, provided additional resources, prepared a person to testify or those types of things in order to make sure that the criminal case was pursued properly and correctly and made sure that the district attorney's office had the information they needed in order to be successful. And then that was very helpful in terms of our civil case of maximizing the compensation for the injured person. Let me ask you this. A person who's injured in a motor vehicle accident as a result of impaired or drunk driving, what kinds of things should they look for in a law firm?
Well, you want somebody with experience, somebody that's dealt with these kinds of cases, somebody that has criminal court experience like our lawyers do, our law firm does, somebody that knows how to find coverages. That gets tricky, that gets complicated. Somebody that has done that hundreds and thousands of times, like we have. And you also want lawyers that have done insurance defense work in the past, which most of our lawyers have done, because the insurance companies know that we know how to handle these cases, and so we can get maximum compensation for our clients.
Well, in addition, a lot of times we're looking we may be looking at the place where a person was served the alcohol in a Dram Shop if the damages are sufficient enough. If the person's injured to that extent, we may be looking at the bar or restaurant that served this alcohol because they may be responsible for some or all of these damages.
That's right, and we can pursue them for punitive damages often as well.
Well, Jeff, let me ask you this. After a person is injured in an accident that results from impaired or drunk driving, should a person wait and see, or should they call us immediately?
They should call immediately.
And why is that?
Well, the criminal case is going on. You've got somebody arrested for DUI or impaired driving, so we need to be involved in that early on. Evidence disappears from the scene. We want our investigative team on the case immediately. The insurance companies are working these things from day one, so we need to be working these things from day one and building the case for our clients.
Well, when witnesses disappear, I can think of cases right now where it's helpful that we got in early because we were able to see the witnesses and talk to the witnesses and get statements and contact information so that they could later be provide evidence that'll be helpful in our case. So if you've been injured in an accident that results from someone's impaired driving or drunk driving, then call us. We'll answer your questions and make sure your case gets started on the right foot to make sure that you receive maximum compensation.